Happy Dinger Tuesday. Yesterday gave me a lot more gray hair, but let's talk some more baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and I am still trying to recover from Monday. What a crazy up and down roller coaster of emotions with the betting, but we'll go over that in a little bit. Baseball betting is tough. I'm just going to be honest. It is really tough right now. Very, very unpredictable. It's not like basketball where you can have some safer bets and things like that. Baseball, one swing of the bat, one pitch can change absolutely everything, but we're going to grind it away. We're only a month and a half into the year, so we got a long ways to go, but it's Dinger Tuesday, which means you got a chance to win $20. Here's all you have to do. Leave a comment below with the player you think is going to hit a home run, the odds for his home run, and the sports book you found it. You must have all three to be eligible. You only get one choice, by the way. If we have a tie, plus 400 odds, beat a plus 200 odds, obviously. So the higher odds win. And then if we have a tie in the odds, then it's the longest home run hit if we have the tie with the same player. Even if it's different odds on different books, same player means it's a tie. We do a Wednesday showdown. We've only had to do that one time. But anyways, join and you got nothing to lose. So try to win some money and then we'll let you know who wins on Wednesday. But quick reminder, NBA Best Bets video is out now. We give out some good matchups for game one of the Eastern Conference Finals. I preview the series and then I give you my best bet and some leans. So go check that out. But I'm ready to get into it because we got a full slate. And that means we start with the baseball fun fact. Here we go. Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak in 1941 is, as you guys all know, it's probably a record that's never going to get beaten. It is incredible. But did you know that during that 56-game hitting streak, DiMaggio's batting average was 408? Ted Williams, during his hit streak, 412. That is absolutely incredible. I didn't watch it there in 1941. I just didn't have a lot of time, but Ted Williams sure seemed to make hitting look easy. From everything I've seen in videos or heard in articles and things, he seemed like one hell of a hitter. But either way, what a hit streak by DiMaggio, that's for sure. But in this video, we're going to recap yesterday, and then we're going to talk good hitter matchups, the good pitcher strikeout matchups, go over that full pitcher report, and then give you best bets or leans and leans, and then also finish it out with the bets recap. So hit that like button. Leave a comment below like you guys have been doing every single day, and hit that subscribe as we are so close to 25,000 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. All right, let's get started, and that means it's recap time. All right, here we go. I'm going to try to stay calm. It was a 1-3 day, but one of the losses, we took a chance. It was a half unit, but the over 7.5 Mariners Yankees, I don't know what to say about this, guys. We were getting unlucky all game, and then we got extremely lucky in the ninth inning. This just shows you how crazy baseball is, but Giancarlo Stanton left 5 guys on base in two at-bats in a row. He had guys on first and third one time, hitting a double play. Bases loaded, 1 out, hitting to a double play again. So then it was like 3-1 going into the ninth inning with Clay Holmes on the mound, who has not given up a run since September 21st. What does he do? He gives up 4 runs to my Seattle crappy offense Mariners, and the Mariners flat out win the game, and we go over 5-4. Go figure. How in the world does that even happen? It's just baseball, guys. And then White Sox money line. Well, I had one part of that, right? Jose Barrios, he got hit around. I think 7-8 hits he gave up. He had some strikeouts. He was just okay at best, but it didn't matter because Eric Fedde was not on his game. He had a bad inning, and then it was once he left, the bullpen just did not do well. I think they lost like 9-3. And by the way, I had no idea it was a holiday in Canada. That's my bad. I shouldn't have bet that. But Reese Olson over 16.5 outs recorded. How about a line drive off the hip in the third inning, and then you leave the game? You can't make this stuff up. I mean, baseball is one of those games or one of those things where you bet on. You're not really worried about injuries. Not as much in baseball as basketball. But sure enough, Reese Olson leaves the game in the third inning. So thank you for that. And then, how about William Contreras? Did something he has never done this season on the day I bet him. Well, I bet him a lot, though. William Contreras went hitless in 2 straight games. He's never done that this year. And not only that, he got an extra at-bat in the extra innings, and he went 0 for 5. And again, this is like the second or first leading hitter in the National League, not just some nobody. He did not get it done. Altuve got a hit, but it didn't matter because Contreras went hitless. So that's the day. Can you tell I'm just frustrated by it? But it is what it is, guys. Obviously, with these videos, you tail one bet, fade one bet, whatever you want to do. Use all the info. But these bets are going to turn around. I know they will. But, man, just some rough luck. And just baseball's just tough right now. That's all it is. So that's the recap for Monday. Now, before we get into all those best bets, we got to talk some research help. And that starts with the good hitter matchups. All right, we got 11 good hitter matchups for you today. And up there on the left is JD Martinez, the veteran, 10 for 27, 4 extra base hits, and a couple bombs versus Carlos Carrasco Tabasco. And then Salvi Perez, 9 for 21, with 3 extra base hits against Casey Mize. So on and so on. Chapman hitting Martin Perez pretty well. And then a couple Phillies with Harper and JT Realmuto versus John Gray, who's actually been throwing the ball pretty well. And then Belly against Charlie Morton, the veteran. 5 for 11, 3 extra base hits versus him. And then over there on the right, we got some other guys with 8, 6, 8, 10, 11 at-bats that are hitting pretty well, including Alex Bregman, my favorite player, 6 for 10 with a bomb versus Griffin Canning. And then Freddie Freeman, only 6 at-bats, but my goodness, 4 for 6 with 3 extra base hits versus Brandon Pfaadt. Not too shabby. But those are the best hitter matchups. And now let's talk some arms. All right, we got 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you today. And of course, the first one is against the Mariners. Clark Schmidt against the M's. M's highest strikeout percentage versus righties in the last 3 weeks. We're doing last 3 weeks now, 28.5%. Clark Schmidt, 55 Ks and 50 innings this year. He's been consistent, 6+ Ks now in 6 of his last 7 starts. And then the second one, Kyle Bradish of the Orioles going up against the Cardinals. Cardinals' 4th highest K percentage versus righties the last 3 weeks at 25.5%. Bradish has only had a few starts so far this year, 3 of them to be exact, but he has 17 Ks and 13.2 innings. He's had 5, 9, and 3 Ks in those 3 starts. But as you see right there in the graphic, they were against low strikeout teams, the Yankees, the Nationals, and the Toronto Blue Jays. So this will be his best matchup for strikeouts of the season so far. So those are the strikeout matchups. And now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here is page 1 and the first 8 matchups of the pitcher report. We got a few good pitchers going and a few crappy ones. How about the first game? Adrian Hauser versus Carrasco. Not pretty. Both of them with an ERA over 5 or over 7 for Hauser. Over expected ERAs of 5 as well. 2 guys that do not miss a lot of at-bats. Hauser also a 14.6% walk rate. Just has not been pretty. Musgrove coming off the IL, going up against the Cincinnati Reds, who have been the worst offense in baseball the last 3 weeks versus righties. Andrew Abbott's been solid, really solid this year so far for the Reds. As you can see, 3.25 expected ERA, average K guy, above average walk rate and all that, and hit rate. So he's been good. And then Logan Webb, who has not been good away from San Francisco, but still always a solid pitcher. And then Ranger Suarez, we talked about him before, just been one of the best pitchers in baseball, 8-0 in his 9 starts, which is incredible. So other than that, Joe Ryan versus Patrick Corbin, obviously a pretty big discrepancy. Corbin does have an ERA under 4 in Washington, but Joe Ryan is obviously the better pitcher in that one. And then Clark Schmidt, like we already talked about, going up against Brian Woo of the Seattle Mariners. Only 9.2 innings, so not a lot to go off of right now. So that is page 1. Take some screenshots if you are new. As you can see, all the averages are on the bottom just to kind of give you an idea. But hopefully this helps you bet walks, strikeouts, game bets, whatever it is, and get some winners. So let's go check out page 2. All right, we start out with a couple lefties here in Toronto with Kikuchi against Garrett Crochet. Crochet's, been a little up and down, but he is due for some positive regression, that's for sure. 2.36 expected ERA, 4.18 ERA. He is a guy that misses a ton of bats, 33.7% K rate. And Kikuchi's been really solid, guys. Under a 3 ERA and expected ERA, above average K rate. White Sox not hitting lefties very well. So, and then we got Javier Assad for the Cubs, another pitcher who's been surprisingly good and kind of under the radar. 3.2 expected ERA, 1.5 ERA, not too shabby. Only giving up 6.5 hits per 9. And then Bradish, we already talked about, going up against the veteran Lance Lynn with a 5 ERA. And then other than that, no one's super great here the rest of the way. Gavin Stone's a decent pitcher. Brandon Pfaadt, decent young pitcher as well. But all the rest of the guys are kind of just okay this year. Cal Quantrill actually has pitched better than most people thought, though. So those are the last 7 matchups. That is the entire pitcher report for Tuesday, May 21st. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this segment of the show is brought to you by our sponsor, Better Bet. That's BTR Bet, the best place to find, track, analyze, and share your bets. Click that link below in the description now because there is a promo code to use. Use Jabo and you get 30 days free, including a 7-day free trial. So it is just an incredible deal right now. You guys have heard me talk about it. I just absolutely love it. So go check it out right now. But here we go. This first bet is a hitter parlay. Give me 2 lefties. Give me Devers and give me Cody Bellinger. 1+ hit each at -108 on DraftKings. So let's start out with Mr. Devers. If you have not heard about him, I don't know where you've been because he just set the Red Sox record for the most consecutive games with a home run in 6. Absolutely incredible. The Red Sox have a lot of history. That is quite the record. Kind of reminds me of my favorite player, Griffey, when he hit 8 in a row, I believe it was, for my Seattle Mariners back when they were actually fun to watch. Devers is also on a 10-game hitting streak right now. He is facing righty Zach Littell. Devers is hitting 312 off righties this year, and Littell is giving up a lot of hits. We've talked about him before. He has great command, Littell does. He barely walks guys. He has a half or 1.5 walk lines every time. So he's going to be in the zone. And when I say he gives up a lot of hits, I mean 57 and 49.2 innings. So it's been solid. Devers only 3 at-bats against him. He's 1 for 3 with a home run. Maybe he just hits a bomb and gets a 7th one in that first at-bat, and we just move on. But I'm counting on him to extend his hitting streak to 11. So give me Devers. And then Mr. Cody Bellinger starting to swing the bat a little bit better now. He has 1+ hit in 8 of his last 10 games. He has 14 for his last 40, which is a 350 average. And now he gets to face Uncle Charlie Morton. Like you saw earlier, he is 5 for 11 with 3 extra base hits off Charlie Morton. He's seen the ball very well off of his hand, that's for sure. But Cody Bellinger hitting 290 at home this season. It's a good matchup, swinging a good bat right now. Plus, it looks like the wind is blowing out in Wrigley, which is always great. That's why you see a total, I think, in that game right now of 10.5. So I like Bellinger to get hit. I think there's going to be a lot of hits that game, at least for the Cubs maybe. But I just like Bellinger and Devers to each get 1+ hit at -108 as my first best bet. All right, this second game takes us back to Toronto, Canada, where the Blue Jays host the Chicago White Sox. Blue Jays on the money line -185, White Sox money line +154, with a total of 7.5 runs. Grab your friends. We're taking a trip right back down to Nerfy Town, baby. That's right. Give me the Nerfy at -125 on DraftKings. We have not done a Nerfy in a little bit. It is time. I like this one. So let's talk about it. We got 2 lefties on the mound. Garrett Crochet versus Yusei Kikuchi. Crochet 9-1 on Nerfies this year. That is not too shabby. By the way, the one loss, guess who was betting on that? That was me. He gave up a 3-run bomb in the first inning to Alec Boehm. Yep, that was awesome. Anyways, he faces the Jays team now that is the 4th lowest scoring team in baseball. They have gone scoreless in the first inning in 38 of 46 games this season. Let's talk about Yusei Kikuchi now. He's been solid this season, as you saw by the pitcher report. He's been a solid pitcher, limiting runs. He is 6-3 on Nerfies this season. He faces the White Sox, who have just been bad offensively, as we all know. A little bit better lately, though. But they've gone scoreless in the first inning in 39 of 48 games this season. And finally, these two teams. If you just talk about the teams, I know we're only talking about one inning, but this is wild. These two teams are 28th and 29th in batting average the last 3 weeks versus left-handed pitching. So overall, they're terrible. They're 27th and 28th in WRC plus versus lefties. I'm losing my voice because I'm so amazed by the stat. But I know it's only the top of the order. I just like the Nerfy in this one because these lineups have been struggling, and these 2 pitchers have been doing pretty well in the first inning. So give me the Nerfy at -125. Now, those are my 2 best bets for this video, but let's talk 3 leans that might make the card as well tomorrow, just to give you as much info as possible. The first one, the Cubs on the money line at home against the Atlanta Braves. Braves bullpen and team will be a little more tired. They just played a doubleheader yesterday while the Cubs had the day off. It's going to be Charlie Morton versus Javier Assad. Assad's been solid. He's been the better starting pitcher this year. He's been really good for the Chicago Cubs. Morton's just been okay. I mean, he's been great for his age, that's for sure, but he's just been okay. And the Cubs at home are 14-9 this season. Braves have still been inconsistent. They still got Austin Riley working back from injury, but they just offensively, they haven't been the same yet. I'm not saying they won't get there. But with this starting pitcher advantage, we're getting plus money for the Cubs on the money line at home in Wrigley Field. I like the Cubs there. Second one, Orioles, you go -half a run in the first 5 innings or just on the full game money line. Every time I bet the Orioles, they let me down, as I mentioned. But I like what I've seen from Kyle Bradish. He looks like he's picking right up where he left off last year, and he's going up against Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn is not a good pitcher. Let's just face it. He has a 5.04 expected ERA, 1.5 whip. He's now given up 4 earned runs in 3 straight starts. He is not good at all. I know the Cardinals have been swinging the bat better lately, but I do think this is a huge advantage for the Orioles with the starting pitcher. And the Orioles, I think, should have the lead after 5 innings, and they should also win the game. You can take your pick if you want to bring the bullpens into it. But that's my second lean with the Orioles there. And then the third one, Clark Schmidt of the Yankees, 6+ Ks and Yankees money line for a little plus money same game parlay. Schmidt has 6+ strikeouts, like I mentioned, in 6 of his last 7 starts. 17. This is maybe the stat of the night. 17 straight right-handed pitchers have had 5 or more Ks versus the Mariners. It has been ugly. I know it's 5 or more. We need 6 or more, but obviously, I just want to let you know that 5 is the baseline, really. Marcus Stroman, who doesn't strike people out, had 6 Ks yesterday. And they don't hit very well, which helps pitchers go deeper into games, give them more opportunities to get or more strikeouts and things like that. So we already talked about it. They have the highest strikeout rate in baseball versus righties in the last 3 weeks. And then the Yankees money line. Well, the Yankees are the number 1 offense in the league. They're facing Brian Wu, who I think will come back down to earth a little bit with this start. It's going to be a really tough matchup for him. Obviously, the Yankees being so good, not a huge swing and miss guy. And I just think the Yankees are pissed off after losing the way they did in the 9th inning to the Mariners yesterday. So I think they come back out with a better starting pitcher, probably the much, much better lineup at home. I don't think they lose 2 in a row to the Mariners. So I like Schmidt, 6+ Ks, and Yankees money line. Again, you could use either of those for your own parlay. I think 6+ Ks is a great parlay piece for Clark Schmidt. Last I saw was 6.5, but over was juiced to get 7 at like -145 or something crazy. So this takes it down to 6 as a parlay piece. But those are my 2 best bets for right now. I will be adding more later. Maybe one of these, maybe 2 of these, or something new. It'll be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. Hopefully, all of this information we just went over will help you get some winners today. Let's go check out the recap. All right, there it is. Just the 2 bets so far. We got Devers and Cody Bellinger, 1+ hit each at -108 on DraftKings, and the Nerfy between the White Sox and the Blue Jays, 2 lefties on the mound, -125 on DraftKings. If you just fast forward to this, then you missed the 3 leans that I just talked about in detail about what else I like. And then, of course, I will add any plays in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. I expect to have at least 1 more added play. So it's time to bounce back. I know we had a 2-0 Sunday, but Monday freaking sucked. I'm ready to bounce back. Baseball's tough, but I'm going to keep grinding, keep trusting the process. It's a long season. So anyways, hope everyone has a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.